So today I will be presenting to you a basic overview, rather the first overview of Branon, which is basically an IoT based load controller. Let me introduce you to some of the salient features of this particular product. First, it's a very dynamic product because it depends on you how you control your loads, whether locally or through IoT. You can also set a priority for controlling the loads from IoT or from a local control. Second, you have a feature that is time of the day control for each and every load, and that is a very specific feature that I will describe as I go along the video. And this feature will help you control any particular load at any particular day or month or year and at a specific given time. So now let's walk through the various features of the Branon. The Branon is mainly consisting of three main parts. The first is the LCD, which is, in this case, we are offering three different types of flavors of Branon. That is one that comes without the LCD, which is obviously very low cost, and one that comes with a small 3.5-inch LCD, obviously a touchscreen, a resistive touchscreen LCD, and the other which comes with this particular Branon product which you're seeing, which is a 7-inch touchscreen LCD. So for controlling loads only through IoT, you can have a Branon without the LCD, and that will help you eliminate any kind of local controls. But let me tell you, it's an add-on feature. You can add on an LCD anytime you want, and you can enable the touch features and the local display features. So this LCD is the first part of the Branon. The second part is the circuit or the backend which is operating, as you can see over here. The backend is basically consisting of a MSP 430 microcontroller, that is this one, and it consists of the 32-bit architecture which has been developed by Texas Instruments. So it's a TI based device, and all the products which have been used to make the backend are primarily sourced from Texas Instruments or from STMicro or NXP, which are very renowned manufacturers, chip manufacturers. So the product complies to all the required norms and regulations that will be required for optimum and satisfactory performance. There is another part of the device which is the internet or Gprs communication. Let me tell you, this device has several modes of communicating with the internet. The one that has been used here is a GSM modem, but even you can use a Wi-Fi module, which is a ESP based module, and you can connect to your local Wi-Fi or any hotspot which is available around the device, and you can connect it to the net. And all these configuration features are available in the internet page or in the IoT page. These are the load connectors. As you can see that there are a total number of 10 loads. 2 loads are variable loads, and they can be used to control motors or any kind of dimmers. Recently we have decided to move this feature off the shelf from the main PCB to a module based design, wherein you can add on the number of modules you want to control the number of variable loads. So in that case you can control multiple number of variable loads from one particular Branon, but that again is a question of trade-off between the price and the performance. And the other fixed loads, that is, you can see from the leftmost position, that is from here right down up till here, there are a total number of 8 thyristors which are controlling the fixed loads. So fixed load on-off control is fully static and it is not based on any kind of electromagnetic relay, and thereby reducing the noise and other problems which can be generated. The main IoT page for Branon can be reached once by typing this address, that is turjasusworld.in. If you can see, it takes some time to focus. So it's www.turjasusworld.in, and after going there you can just come to this particular link which says Branon, and you click on the link. When you click on the link, you'll be asked for some credentials. Here I have the admin credentials. So for each and every user, you'll be having your particular credential, and every user having a certain number of devices, whether it is 5, 10, 15, 20, 100, whatever it may be, all the devices will be listed under the same screen, that is under the common dashboard. Now, concentrating on the dashboard, you can see that you have multiple features which are available. One is the user registration, which is a very unique feature for adding new users, which can also have your rights. Say for example, if there are some co-owners for your device, you can add the user for your device. That can be done from here. If you buy a new device, you can add the device, and if you want to deactivate any device, that is also possible, because this device constantly interacts with the IoT cloud. So once you deactivate the device will be completely deactivated, and it will undergo multiple resets in the remote location. So that can be done from here. So once you go to the dashboard, you can see your device online. Like for example, here D1255 is the serial number of the device, which is also shown on the device. Either it will be printed for non-LCD materials, non-LCD Branons, and it will be visible on the LCD, as you can see here for the LCD based Branons, just beside the operator name. So once the operator name is there, beside that you can see a green tick, which will give you the status of the device. If your device has been disabled from server end, then you will have a red cross over there. Next is the serial number for the device, which is D1255. You cannot change the serial number, it is pre-configured at the factory, and it will be shown in your website. Next is a scrolling letter bar, which shows that whether your device is under IoT priority control or local priority control. Next, as you can see, is a green arrow. This is basically the Iot Interaction Signal. That is, a green arrow upwards shows a data is being transmitted from the device to the server. A red downward arrow shows that a data is coming from the server into the device, and it's a valid data. If it is an invalid data, you will not see. And for idle modes, it will show like this, a black IoT cloud. And the next two boxes I will explain later. You will also have the device temperature on the right, which is 36 right now, as you can see, and on the extreme right you will have a bar which shows the next network RSSI strength. So that is received signal strength indicator for the RF signal. Now, before coming to the local control, let me explain the IoT control. So when you click on your particular device, you go to the main page, which is the basic page. So here on the left you can see the name of your device, the serial number. The connectivity shows whether your device is presently online or offline. An offline device will obviously mean that it is unable to establish connection to the server. Below that you will have the operator name, which is, in this case it is Vodafone. So whichever operator you're using, it will be displayed over here. But let me tell you, it will be limited to a maximum of 8 number characters. That is, if the operator name is more than 8 characters, it will be truncated. If it is lesser than 8 characters, it will be followed by stars. Then is the device temperature, which is also reported at the IoT website, so you don't need the LCD to show the temperature. If in any case, if you see that there is some abrupt rise in device temperature, you can call for a local shutdown, or you can remotely also shut down. That feature is an additive feature, it is not present basically, so you have to contact us for incorporating that particular feature into the device. So from the main control page, you can see that there are fixed load configurations which will help you control the fixed loads. That is total number of 8 fixed loads. So you can just turn them on or off. Like for example, now they are all off. All is an off condition. So if you want, you can just turn on one particular load from here. It will become green, and after making this on, you have to go and press submit over here. But let me tell you one thing, that if your device is under IoT control, only then will this particular setting affect your main device. Otherwise, if your device like now is in local control, then it will reset your selection as I have done over here, because the device locally is showing L0, which is load 0, is in off condition, as you can see over here. So when L0 is in off condition, that will be given a priority, and you cannot enable this device from the IoT. As you can see right now, that although I had enabled load 1 and submitted it, it has been discarded. So there is one naming convention, that is in the LCD, whatever is load 0 is actually load 1 in the internet. So it is basically the total number of loads. If it is 8 in the IoT page, it will show from load 1 to load 8, while on the LCD it will be shown as load 0 to load 7. For variable loads, there is no such convention. As you can see over here, these are the two variable loads. You can disable them from here, and you'll have a red slash. Otherwise, you can control it from here. So this is the basic page from where you can just turn on or off your fixed loads. Similarly, you can turn on off the variable loads. Now these timer spaces which are given over here, that is off timer, on timer in minutes, these are not required for any kind of control. Previously it was given, for example, if you switch on a device and if you give an off timer of 15 minutes, then the device would automatically shut down after 15 minutes. And then when a device is off, if you give an on timer of say 20 minutes, then the device will turn on after 20 minutes. But right now this feature has been taken care of by the time of day feature. That is, if you go to the settings page, in the settings page you can see there is time of day control over here. So in the time of day control, it is basically a drop down, a calendar drop down, where you can set the time when you want to turn the load on. That is on 4th of November to 2019 at 1 o'clock. So if you just set it today, it will automatically change to the current time 1611. So you can also modify that if you want, and you can set the L0 off time, that is the load 0 off time, and from the same menu you have to adjust the time yourself when you want to turn it on or off. And if you click on this button as set value, that will automatically be fetched in the next get cycle by the device from the server, and your load will be switched on or off depending on the times given. So this feature will be displayed separately because it requires a detailed description. But basically you can set the time, the date and the year, and putting 0 in any location. For example, if you put 0 in the date over here, if you put 0 in the date or in the month or in both, it means that the device will ignore and it will only follow the time for each and every day. So giving a 00/00/20000-16:11, it means that at 4:11 p.m. every day the device will turn on, and doing the same in the off time will turn it off. So that is a repetitive feature which you can use by just putting 0 in the particular positions. So now let's come to the local priority or remote priority. So there's a drop down menu. From here you can select whether you want to put the device under IoT priority or you want to set the device under local priority. If you select IoT priority, then let me tell you, this time of day control feature will not be available. This is just simply because you can just set a time of day control timing and just switch it off from the main page, so that will contradict your particular setting. So for time of day control feature, the local priority has to be set. And let me come over here. There are some features which you can see, like if you want to remote factory reset your device, you can do so from the Iot page itself. If you want to set the time, you can do so from the Iot page itself, but usually the time is taken from, if you're using a Gprs communication, the time is passed directly from the local network. This will show you the device firmware, which is the current firmware running on your device. If you need an upgrade, it can be checked from here. The device in network is also shown, that is that is how much signal strength your device is receiving at the remote location. That also you can monitor. Over here it shows 31 dBm, which is the highest value. So from 31 to any value below 31 till 0 would mean a lower network strength. Power save is a unique feature which you can enable or disable from here, and it will be affected directly onto the device. So with the power save feature, here you can, just a second. So power save is basically a feature that can be selected from here, and it will be enabled directly on the device. Power save will help you save some power when you are operating this device in drastic power conditions. So this feature has again not been implemented, but we are implementing it presently. So it will help you save power if you are using Branon under, say, battery operated conditions. Flight mode is, this is not really a flight mode what we say, but it's like a non-RF mode. Like for example, if you're operating the device in a location where you need to cancel all kinds of RF communications temporarily, then you can just click enable over here. So once you enable it from here, it will be directly sent to the device and it will switch off the GPRS or Wi-Fi communications totally. But let me tell you, once you do this, all communications from the device to the internet or cloud will be stopped, and it requires a local reset which has to be done locally, because then no further communication will be possible from here to the device. So before turning on the flight mode, please ensure that there is some person who can access the device locally, who can reset it or turn it off and on. Engineering mode is required for those people who will be using Branon for development purposes. For example, you could take regular data samples through the analog inputs, and you can use them for your analyzing purposes or controlling any kind of load from there. So engineering mode is again a mode where you can give some additional features, like for example, if you want a weighted average, or you want direct value of the analog values, or you want any kind of if you want to implement any kind of sample equation on the measured analog values. So you can go to the engineering mode, you can enable the engineering mode, and you can change how the analog values will be sampled and how they will be used for controlling the loads. USB port is for those Branons, mostly all the Branons, whether it is basic or advanced, only the one which does not have an LCD. Leaving that, the other two Branon, both of them, they have USB. So this is an additive feature which helps you communicate with any device which is ready to behave like a CDC. So in that case, the Branon will act like a host, USB host, and your device and the device which you're connecting with Branon will have to be within its defined CTC classes, and it can act as a USB device. It's suppose USB 2.0 communications. So this is for the USB communications. Now there is also a possibility where you can connect the Branon as a USB host as a USB device to a USB host. So for example, if you want to communicate with, say, a PC, or maybe there is some other device which is acting as the USB host, and you want to make your Branon as a USB device, so in that case also you need to enable the USB port from here. The rest of the USB communication related settings will be available if you have purchased this feature. Now USB port feature is not available by default because this is an additive feature, and you will only be requiring this feature if you do some kind of data analysis or artificial intelligence implementation or any kind of remote control implementation, wherein you need to communicate with a local computer or mass storage devices like hard disks or pen drives. So in that case you need to activate the USB port feature, but this is again a feature that needs activation from the developer side, and it is an additive feature which includes extra cost. Network configuration helps you configure that how your device is connected. If your device is connected through GPRS mode, which is the default mode, then you can select GPRS mode here. But if you want to shift to the Wi-Fi mode, you can directly select Wi-Fi mode from here, and you can simply go to set. Clicking on the set button will automatically switch your device, and it will make your device connect through the Wi-Fi. Or if it is connected through Wi-Fi presently, if you make it GPRS and press on the set button, it will change the setting in your device. But let me tell you that your settings have to be very correct, because if your APN which you are setting from here, suppose if your device is in Wi-Fi mode and if you want to go to the GPRS mode, and if you give a wrong APN, then once you set it and if your APN is not correct, your device will go out of connectivity. So please make sure that the access point name is correct for the given operator. And the Icc Id is a very unique feature. This is the 20-digit SIM number that is given from the operator, and this number will not change even if your SIM goes for a new number. So if somebody changes the SIM in your device, you will be able to see it directly from here, because this is a feature that the user has no control. It is automatically reported from the device, and you yourself also cannot change this. This is not changeable from either sides, not the device, neither from the device side nor from the IoT side or the web side. So this is used for verification if your device is being misused with some other SIM, because the SIM that is provided by the distributor will obviously be reported to you, and you can match the number. So using any other kind of SIM will be detectable from here, and you can disable the device then and thereof. And Wi-Fi SSID is required if you're using the Wi-Fi mode, so you can just give the name. This length of the Wi-Fi SSID is limited to 30 characters, and you also need to give the password, which is also limited to 30 characters. So these are basically the settings for your network configuration. Now let me come to the communication mode. That is, you can use Branon to communicate with multiple Branons. You can use it to communicate with other Modbus modules. You can use it to communicate with our existing IoT based data acquisition device, or you can also use it to communicate with your customized device. If you yourself develop some device which you want to control it through Branon, and that is not a direct load, so you can use the RS485 control port, which supports Modbus. So you can use the Modbus communication protocol, and you can write the required engineering code by taking the device to the engineering mode, and you can use Branon to control your particular load, your particular device. But this RS485 control, just baud rate can be set from here. There are multiple features of RS485 control or Modbus control, but these features are again not available in the present package, and it needs to be purchased separately. So if and when you need it, you can get in touch with us. We will definitely develop the required engineering module for you, and it will be included. You will be having a separate page on your website from where you can control or set all the required parameters. So pressing the back button will take you back to the device's main page, and here you can see all the details as it was shown. So that is all. Here you can see the device operating, and let me give you some overview of the screen and the on-screen controls that you have. So basically this one I told you, it's mainly the IoT symbol. Now the next one here, this is the icon which will be enabled if you use your own RS485 based control. And the last one basically shows the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. There is also an option if you want to communicate through BLE, like it supports Branon supports Bluetooth Low Energy version 5. So if you want to communicate using BLE with any mobile app using Android or iOS, then this particular box will show you the mode of communication, whether it is BLE. If it is BLE, it will show you the Bluetooth symbol. And so turning on and off a load using LCD is very simple. You can just click on this bulb icon, and when your load is actually turned on, it will be reflected on over here. So it's like I can press in the button, in the click, it goes red, but that doesn't mean that the load is on. The load will go on only when it is shown over here, which is a confirmation from the chip that it has been turned on at the load side. And going to the menu, from the local menu, you can go to the system menu, which basically shows the brightness. So you can control the brightness using the slider. So the slider controls the brightness of the LCD, and that is also shown in percentage. Now all the settings which you have done on the website were previously available on the LCD, but now they will be deprecated, and you will only have one settings page where you will have all the details that is settable locally. Otherwise you can use the IoT page to set everything. Going back, the network, loads, RS485, TOD, all these timer pages have been taken to the website, so they are no more accessible using the LCD menu. So in LCD you can only set the system brightness, that's it. The rest you can control from there. And coming to all off mode, this is a specific mode where you would like to switch off all the loads. So this is a very simple feature if you want to implement Branon for any kind of home automation. So you can just press all off, which turns off all the loads. This is no more this was the button for timer, but it is now present in the IoT website, so it is not required locally. And all on is similarly another feature which turns on all the loads altogether. So all off and all on features are mainly required when you want to test all the devices, or you want to shut all the devices off altogether. This is a sleep mode. This is particularly helpful if you're using Branon for any hotel or some hospitality applications, or anywhere where you are keeping guests. So over there, suppose if the device has a power failure, and or your room or wherever your guests are staying, if there's a power failure, and if you want to go to sleep, so you can just press this button, and your Branon will understand that pressing this button means that the user has gone to sleep. So when the power comes, it will not switch on the lamps, it will only keep the fans or the variable loads as they were when the power was there. So it basically resumes the previous state just by cutting off the fixed loads. So this is all about Branon. It's a device that has been built for home users as well as for small scale industries and micro scale industries. You can use it for IoT communications and IoT controls. Thank you. For more details, you can get in touch with our special person, Mr. Ghosh, and he can give you all the details and get back to me. Thank you.